Time for our second match here. And there you see 555, the lesser evil, Juan DeSanto. He's into the ring by the cat. Not sure I've seen this combination here before, but Juan DeSanto always looking to gain an advantage here. He's going to need it in this match.
Juan DeSanto comes out with the incredibly hot and sexy cat. And Jeff Bradley comes out with the incredibly ugly, fat, loaded, and downright annoying Mike Peskin, the leader of the professionals. I hope Cat takes her nails and rips Peskin's face apart.
I tell you what, Cat may be a good person for Juan DeSanto to have in his corner, but if he thinks it's going to help him sustain this beating that every single person who gets in the ring with the O.D.D. Jeff Bradley takes, he's sadly mistaken. But Juan DeSanto, as we've seen, no pushover here in IPW. He might have actually had a feud with a referee, Richie Rich, but he also tore the house down in what is still considered a feud of the year contender with his former partner, Dr. Heresy. But right now, he's just laying on the ground wondering what in the hell just happened to him, courtesy of the O.D.D.
The O.D.D. Jeff Bradley. I have to bring up a big point. There is an enormous event that is going to be happening over in Bradenton at the Killer Club, the Outer Limits, on May 1st. That's a Wednesday night. It is going to be the return of some of the most violent wrestling. The new level in violence at the Outer Limits on May 1st. Jeff Bradley, the O.D.D., will be there. And Aaron, you take one guess. Guess who's debuting IPW? The epitome of violence, the original gangsta. Who is it, Aaron?
I believe that would be
It's
Angelo.
New Jack. It's New Jack, the original gangsta, debuting right here in IPW Hardcore Wrestling. And from what I understand, the O.D.D. Jeff Bradley, who feuded with New Jack back in the early days of ECW, he wants a piece of New Jack. And people, on May 1st, you are going to see some of the sickest, most violent hardcore wrestling to invade Florida in years.
I tell you what, Ron, that's a huge, huge match. Bradley just back from that big fight with Abdul the Butcher, and now having to go in and face New Jack. That's not going to be a step down in violence by any stretch of the imagination. Now, when you were talking about bringing in the most hardcore guy you could find, I thought for sure you were going to say Angelo Mosco Jr., but I tell you, you can't top New Jack for sheer mayhem and violence.
I wasn't going to bring in Angelo Mosca Jr. or Ralph Mosca, but you look at Jeff Bradley absolutely shredding and tearing apart the chest of Juan DeSanto, and he follows it in with a sick, huge lariat. I've taken that before, and I'm in no hurry whatsoever to get in there. Jeff Bradley can go technical, he can execute a perfect body slam, an unbelievably wicked lariat, or he can take and he can rip your skull and absolutely bust you open. And the thing I don't like about this guy, he seems to enjoy it. He seems to get off and get motivated by the bloodshed of others. I guarantee you, it doesn't matter if she's a woman. If Cat gets in the way of Jeff Bradley, he will destroy her.
Look at that, Cat having to drag Juan DeSanto back to the ring. He smartly took a breather, but it looks like he was going to take it all the way back to the dressing room and take a powder, but Cat would have none of it as she throws Juan DeSanto back in the ring, and he can't be too happy about that as his knees are just about to give way under his massive pounds of flesh.
You got to look at Jeff Bradley and Juan DeSanto and realize these two individuals could at any time compete or contend for the IPW television, hardcore, or heavyweight title. And that match between Jeff Bradley and New Jack, you got to be wondering in the background, where's Axis? What's he thinking with this hardcore title? He's already taken on the Prince of Darkness, Kevin Sullivan. He's already defended against Jeff Bradley, Chaos, Devin Nash, some of the hardest hitting, stiffest bastards in IPW. What is he going to do when he sees New Jack and Jeff Bradley tear each other from limb to limb and cover the walls of the Outer Limits in blood? He's going to want a shot. Look at that huge move by Juan DeSanto. Great move out of nowhere. He's got to go for the pin right now himself. Take out Jeff Bradley while you can.
I tell you, he made that huge move to Jeff Bradley, but Jeff already up, and here comes Cat, helping her man, choking Jeff Bradley over the second rope. I tell you what, that's not too smart if he may get a hold of you later, but then again, like you said about Jeff Bradley, he might have just decided to go out there and beat the heck out of Cat anyways, so it doesn't really matter. And here he goes chasing her outside the ring. At least that'll give Juan DeSanto a little bit of a break, but no, he doesn't want the break. Nice drop kick through the middle, second and third rope there under Jeff Bradley, and that's the kind of thing you have to do. You got to take a guy like Dudley by surprise if you ever hope to get ahead in the contest with this huge, massive, just the machine of destruction, Jeff Bradley.
Jeff Bradley has done everything he can to bring his reign of terror, bloodshed, and mayhem to new heights in IPW. He wants people to know who is the most technically superior and the most hardcore, violent wrestler on IPW's roster. May 1st, we're at the Outer Limits. May 3rd, we return to the Pinellas Expo Center. You can go to Ticketmaster.com. You can call 813-287-8844, and you can find out all you can about the huge return to May 3rd. And you look at Juan DeSanto, he says, you want to chop me in the chest? You want to rip me apart? You can play at that. Maybe I shouldn't have did that is what he's probably thinking right now. You see his neck snap from that chop,
Oh, look,
Aaron?
he's trying to throw Bradley back in the corner. I did see his neck snap. Oh, look at this, and I saw about his whole body just snap in half as he gets tossed over the top rope. I tell you, back in the day in the Fed, that would have been a DQ.
He was thrown out like a sack of potatoes, right over the top rope. In the Fed, they don't know if it's a DQ from one week to the next. Ever since Jack Tunney lost the presidency. No, come on, Bradley, take it easy on the guy. He's outside. No, okay, terrible part. That's actually a hell of a lot more entertaining. And the mullet, Richie Rich, looks on in horror, disgust, and awe. But the truth is, he doesn't like Juan DeSanto, and he might call it right down the middle like he should as an impartial referee, but he doesn't like Juan DeSanto, and he probably let Jeff Bradley get in one extra shot with that chair just for good measure, and I don't know if I like that one bit, Aaron.
I'll tell you what, Ron Neimi, somehow, ever since you've become a quote-unquote baby face here in IPW, you don't like a lot of things that you used to would have loved, and the fans love the sheer mayhem of a Jeff Bradley. Whether or not they'll cheer him when he goes up against 911 Incorporated, no, probably not. He's aligned with Mr. Peskin, but they respect what he can do in the ring, and each and every time he's on the card, he's going to help draw people to the arena, and he's going to put on one of the best damn shows you'll ever see on the independent scene or anywhere else.
The last time that we went against the professionals up in Crystal River at the National Guard Armory, it was an absolute war, and we were lucky that Mike Shane came out of that match with his hand raised. But on May 4th, we returned to the Crystal River National Guard Armory. DeSanto, Bradley, all of 911 Incorporated, our unholy alliance with Devin Nash, who can't seem to get enough out of hanging out with me. The guy's trying to steal all my heat, Aaron.
Bradley just misses a huge elbow off the second rope there. Give Juan DeSanto a second chance. And you were talking about Devin Nash. He's been an ally for you guys in this war against the professionals, but always an uneasy alliance when it comes to yourself and Devin Nash.
Huge backdrop by Juan DeSanto. I'm going to give this guy credit. I love him. I know he's a great athlete, but I thought he was going to come out here and get turned into a hamburger, and he hits one of the sloppiest, more corkscrewish looking moonsaults ever on Jeff Bradley. He's lucky he didn't catch him in the face with his knee. He might be out for the victory, but he's not out to destroy or shatter the face of Jeff Bradley, which what might already be the ugliest face in IPW. What the hell is Cat doing except for looking ugly, busted?
Well, Cat threw a chair in the ring, I guess, to help Juan DeSanto, but it backfires right there as Bradley, as if he needed it to lay in the violence, takes a chair right to the head of DeSanto. And fans, this doesn't look good. Loading up the elbow pad. Oh, big loaded forearm. Don't know how the refs never see it, but they never do. Then there's your 3 count, Ron Neimi.
Jeff Bradley takes an opportunity. Cat throws in a chair to supposedly help out Juan DeSanto. He gets absolutely brained and wiped out by that chair by Jeff Bradley. And Mike Peskin and the professionals once again put another win. What the hell is Cat doing? Like it wasn't enough to throw that chair in. No, she's in there laying kicks. And look at those legs.
I'll tell you what, we haven't seen the last between these two individuals, and fans will be back in just a moment here on Weekly Recap.